I don't want to mess it up. I would love to go for the Offspring, but I think we have such a powerful opening. Don't forget the damage from Emissary that we live gain. Also stacks the passive on this one, so we just get basically a loop of damage. Our opponent is good at magic, and they have Helix, which is extremely good for, you know, this type of stuff. I'll just pay. Do we go Haliya? Seems pretty good overall, or we could go Essence Channeler. I mean, Essence Channeler seems just better. I think we might deal even more damage a little bit. Let's go for this one. Yep. We need to burn through this Helix, and it's actually probably the best answer against our deck on turn 2. Because we really want to keep going. Haliya stacking this Lifegain, like, there's no tomorrow. And this is actually insane. Like, how did we make so many plays? Like, we also draw a card for it. The card will be absolute garbage, so that's not great. We drew a card, but the card doesn't matter. It's 0. So, you know, we instead of getting advantage, we actually didn't get anything. But still, we had to draw it, so maybe the next one will be better. Our opponent is getting critiqued. Or wait, the Emissary is getting critiqued, and now it's very traumatic. Someone criticized it. And our assassin is just hiding. Oh, I cannot take it. Let's go for this. I think we still go for the main version. That's why we live gain a little bit still. I wish we had the Emissary. That would be so good. This is our best play. We need to go as hard as possible, especially that they have 1 white. So there is a chance that they cannot sweep a big toughness creature. Yep, we didn't draw the card, unfortunately. Our opponent is at 3. This turn will decide everything. No double white. Ill-timed explosion seems to be the main sweeper here. And they don't have it, or they don't play it because they cannot remove this. So guys, that was incredibly close, but we did it. So guys, I took 1 lander, but because we are on the draw, listen, we are on the draw, so we should hit 1 land on the next turn, and that's enough to play the whole game. But let's see, are we good enough at magic? Nope. Alright. That's cool. Generally, I expect to draw a land in top 3 draws, because that's statistically how you should be drawing. At least we can go for this, that's for sure. We have a lot, bro. I want to concede so hard right now, but because we are playing against this card, you know, maybe our opponent will be busy discarding cards, so we can still find a land and overwhelm them. Bro, 4-drop, you crazy? With this hand? We cannot even play Starting Town as the second land because we missed so many turns. Can you believe it? This is the first time I played it so late on, you know, as the second land that it still is tapped. Fast land is a little bit better in this regard. So our opponent got infinite card advantage and pretty much everything they ever dreamed before we started playing the game. Well, it must be going great for us. However, if we can set up this, but what is the creature? I guess the Cleric then. I wanted to play something white, but we don't have the mana and we need to kinda work with what we have, you know? And we get some extra damage with all this Lifegain. Guys, for this type of opening, like we got them to 12, potentially 10 with the Annex, so you know what? I'll take it. Our opponent's shocking even harder. Fairness. What will die? Probably Cleric. It's probably the scarier one. But they don't expect this dude. And we can get this, but we need some life gain. We get to... Well, how about killing every single creature on 3 mana? Well, that must be nice. Well, also potentially drawing more cards with this. We need to keep paining. We need something that gains life. I think we just go for this guy. Because they cannot really kill it. We are entering the battlefield with a creature. Actually 2 of them. So we will get something really cool. What is it? This is bad. They didn't like... I will go for it. Because we can already start burning them. The idea is that I don't want to give them a free turn so they can go for the demon. Guys, don't forget, we got completely mana screwed for the first 3 turns. Like, imagine if we actually played this game normally. Our opponent would be so dead, it's not even funny. But, you know, After AFKing for 2 turns, we can still try to win. Okay, they really don't like the cleric. Sometimes you identify what your opponent prioritizes, and you can kinda use it. I think the Veins Dawn was a little bit better as the removal target, to be honest. We absolutely pay. Okay, I think we can still win, guys. So this is probably what? Zoraline with Cleric? And that should be 5 damage, I feel. We have the right mana. So we go for this. We pay. Now we get the bat. And now we drain them. And that's enough damage for the kill. Guys, we didn't play for 2 turns and we still won. Let's go for Channeler. This usually is your best play. Our opponent sees that we're on the play with 1 and 2 drop. The classic. They can kill the Channeler. But other than this, I will just play. This is kinda important. We could go Momo into Cleric. It's not bad. This one has no flying. I don't think this guy is good enough for now. We will get some Lifegain. You know what? Let's try. Let's try. I think our opponent has 1 removal spell, so that's the a bit of a problem. We could wait and double spell those. Potentially on the next turn. But this deals more damage, and we always have the other one. So I think this is the optimal play. And I would love to have a little bit of Lifegain when the creature enters. But it's fine. I think we'll lose the Channeler. Need to put the counter somewhere. Yep, as expected. But it's still, I think, the best we have. We also get the Scry. Oh! Okay, this is something I did not expect. So they want to get rid of the Lifegain, which kinda makes sense. But it's very risky, they don't know what we have. Let's go. I'm not dropping this guy because this is Orzhov waiting for the next play. Obviously they have a lot of removal. I really hope they don't have a sweeper. I'm kinda not playing around it. Like, this hand is probably not capable of, winning through the sweeper, especially when they play removal every turn. I think they will play removal on this turn too. So we need to keep swinging as hard as we can. Exile! No way, they also had exile. Not only kill, actual exile. This card, when I last saw this card? Probably like half year ago. So our opponent just has absolute perfection against us. However, is that enough? I think this should be a bat. Like, they will... this is rough, man. This deals more damage. So this will be what? 5, 8... I mean, this can be... Alright, let's go all in. Let's go all in. Because if they have a sweeper, they probably also have removal for it. So they kill it at the end step, then they sweep. So we cannot really play around sweeper here. We need to play around them not having sweeper and not having enough removal for everything. Because this is creature that isn't attacking right now. But still, sorry for the noise, guys. It just keeps happening and I usually try to edit. But sometimes it's in the middle of the play that I cannot edit. So... this forces them to go spot removal on small creatures. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Our opponent is very deliberate at what they are removing, but it gives me hope because they are spending removal spells. It seems even at the end step. You wouldn't play like this if you had a sweeper. And they're down to 5, so this board actually kills. Honestly, I don't even care about Momo. This is probably the first decision I'm not fully on board with from our opponent, because we are already in the late game. Like, we don't have mana issues, we have card issues, and Momo is not the biggest, value card. You prefer something like those dudes that can be, very threatening. It seems our opponent does not have a sweeper. They just had 4 spot removals in a row, which is incredible, by the way. And what do we go for? I think we have to swing. Wait, it could be... The only punish is double not on my watch. Because single they can... Wait. Oh, this is the different card. Okay, let's play everything. Because this is not a Right's End. that can be cast for 5 mana even if the creature isn't attacking. So this is probably the best we have. Yep. We need to just attack the hand. I think we can still do it, man. Ketramos. Can we go around? Yes, because they cannot really do anything with it. And they pay life when they draw cards. Power 4 or... I mean, this doesn't hit anything. Actually, don't think any of those cards matter. That's funny. I thought that those will be 2 bombs. Our opponent, you know, just played 5 removal spells in a with a 6th one in the hand. Can they draw the 1 card that wins? Because if they don't have a sweeper, they're done. Kaya. Okay, interesting. I've never seen this art. And there are so many planeswalkers on this planeswalker. What do? That's it? That's game. Man, we actually managed to do it through 6, I think, removal spells. Guys, I'm really conflicted on this hand. It has like half cards that are unplayed. I think we have to mulligan this. This is better. This is actually incredibly way better. Do we keep the bat or case? I like Professor, so we go this. Oh man. I will get rid of the bat because Momo is our turn 1. Hopefully. This will do. A very rough start. We're already 1 card short. And we are just starting to play the game. We'll pain ourselves just a little bit. Hit with Momo. But at least we have Zoraline. And that's a pretty powerful play. And that, guys, outplayed. Mulligan for the victory. Let's go for this one. At least we have Death Toucher, so we can trade against this one. It's funny because they look completely different on stats, but they are both 1-drops. Cecil and the Emissary. But this card is so far surprising me. This gain 1 life is actually such a big deal. Okay, you got it. I think it's just good to trade, even if they have another, which I expect because they are so aggressive in trading. I think it's okay. Let's see, we definitely need to stop getting flooded. It seems small, but this is half of our hand, guys. So then you don't generally have enough plays. Let's go for this and swing. This will probably not go through. But if that's a counter spell, that might mean that Professor survives, which, you know, is all that matters. And we also get to scry with the bat, probably. Drowner. Oh, they should hit the bat to prevent the life gain. Okay, this is interesting. I mean, it's not as bad as I expected. I was sure this will just die. But maybe they want to set up the Drowner and then kill it. Which would be my expectation. It's 3 drops, so they cannot hex it, so it's at least 2 mana, which means that they usually cannot make too many plays. So guys, I mean, so far so good. If they tap out, we can drop the prop. It's fine. See how much it hurts when your last card that survived this is a land and does nothing. And by the way, they had second as I predicted, because normally that was a bad trade for them. So I expected that means that they have a little bit more. Let's go for this guy. Keep hitting. We cannot go for this attack, unfortunately. They cannot really block, but they don't care about it. So far they denied all the scaling from our Pest master legendary creature. I'm not saying its name, okay? I'm avoiding it on purpose. Shredder's Technique, and when we finally got to get it, it died. Our opponent so far had answered to literally every important card we had. So, you know, good for them, good for them. Obviously it takes them super ahead. If we don't top deck something, we will die, because, you know, honestly, I think missing this 1 or 2 plays, see, and that's game. When you miss lands, when you need gas, and your opponent doesn't, you just lose on gas. I have to say that having this Emissary is actual lifesaver on this turn, because we cannot have the white mana yet. We'll be definitely bottlenecked on white for a pretty long time, but we'll see. Maybe we can do it. Channeler is kinda amazing draw here. Definitely helps us. Do we want to trade? Generally we shouldn't. I think we chill. It's pretty tempting because Moonshadow scales like crazy and they very likely wouldn't block with it. But I think it's the Emissary on our current mana is so important. Like, this is the big part of our life gain. And it would actually kill the Channeler. Okay, let's go for it. Not happy about losing this creature, but at least we kept the Channeler. And they didn't grow the Moonshadow. Do I really need to draw my third freaking case? Bro, come on. Oh man. The Shaffer is actually testing me on mana. Alright, let's see. We really should draw something. So we were very ahead, but now we are starting to get really messed up draws, and now we are starting to be very, very behind. Our opponent has one of the best scaling tools for this whole deck on Bloodghast, which basically gives them extra mana. I think they even messed it up because they could get Bloodghast already in the board, but it doesn't matter if we miss so many plays. We already missed more mana than we use this game. That's not good, guys. Like, you generally want to use the mana that you have and have more every turn. So honestly, I think there is still chance we win, but we are so far behind. We have like 50% of the power that we should by this turn. But maybe even 50% is good enough for, you know, what we have here. Because Channeler will also grow, the second one. So let's go, we life gain, that's very important. So this has 4 toughness, it cannot, you know, cannot die to elf. I think we just keep swinging. We have 1 blocker and 1 lifelinker. So I really hope it will be enough. I'm really happy about it. Well, not, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, they get freebies from this. But still, maybe that's enough to keep us in the game. Yep. This one can trade against elf and then put the counters on the bat. So honestly, if not this horrible mana situation, the game would be completely over for, you know, for our opponent, and we would win this very easily. But the game is only here because we literally pay 1 mana per turn lately. Imagine if we had triple case, this would be already 10 power. Cool but rude. So our opponent can attack, get some value, but this can be 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is actually really nice. Okay, I think from here we can... Oh, right, Menace. We can only block the elf. Okay, finally we got something. This should probably be enough. I'll just pay. We get flying. This enters, we life gain, we put the counter on everything, we swing, we win. Guys, even without being able to play our cards. Do we go for the bat already? I think we have to. Let's go. We need to mess their opening. So far they're, you know, on the gut curve. What do we go for? Is it Overprotect? Or Picnic Ruiner? They can use this, but it's too early, so I think it's Overprotect. Because they use it to pump the students so they can pay more spells and stuff. Do we attack? I think we chill. So let's see if we can stall the game a little bit. If we can stall it, we should be golden. Okay, this is important. From here, I think we can win. We force them to pass 1 turn. So do we just go for the big guy? I think so. If they don't have removal, that should be it. Because we get 1 life gain, then we get 2 life gain from the bat, and then we get even more counters. Yep. And we also have a blob with 4-5, you know? If they cannot kill this right now, I think we should be okay. Life gain, yep, more counters. Back to 19. And the point is that this scales. This is not until end of the turn. It just keeps growing over and over. So if they cannot kill you very quickly, you are just, you know, rolling. I would love to keep our legendary cool guy. But I think we might be forced to block. We could also do this. It's not too bad. But the problem... Do you think they can kill us? I think they cannot. It's just 1 card. So they will lose the student, whatever happens. Okay. Oh, that's right, they can spend this mana as they want. Okay, that's a nice 12, you know, 12 damage guy. That's not bad. But that being said, I think we should still be okay. So is it Emissary Channeler? We could Pain. This would be a Flier. Wait, I think we can make this play. So we go for this, we take white, right? I think this is how it works. No, it enters as a Flier, pumps Momo, but it's not considered Flier. Alright. Meh, meh. Okay, so we'll play it differently. I hoped for a cool play, but we have this one. It's still close to cool play. Oh boy, so what is the target? Ruiner. That's the only card. This one is legendary. But we have our big bat. And imagine if we had one extra turn. This is what I meant. They actually can be in the game because they had this one extra turn on the play. This would be 6-6 by now, if we had a bit more time to scale it. So right now we have to sacrifice something, right? We could just take the damage, I guess. We see the full hand. They didn't go... Oh, this always has... Oh, this has trample anyway. And first strike and doubles. Alright, cool. Cool story, bro. And draws cards. Yeah, it turns out when you have, you know, 6 extra mana, a lot of cards start to be usable. Did they just bulk up something that... Maybe this is exiled for the one turn, right? This turn. Okay, so they did it because it's better to have it in the graveyard than exiled, you know? Because it then vanishes. What can we redo, guys? I cannot make every play. I definitely want the Cleric. So it's Haliya and something. This will draw us a card. Draw a lot of life. I'm not sure if we are going for the Channeler, just to keep... You know what, this should be decent. We are life gaining so much that this will have like 7 or 8 toughness, and then will put the counter on the bat for counter attack, so I think it's good enough. So we just attack with Lifelinkers, we keep the rest. We cannot kill on this turn. We go to 18, we get more counters, we draw a card. Okay, maybe not 7, but close enough. And if they kill it, the counter attack should win, but let's see. They have 5 mana, so they cannot go for the big play. Becomes plot. Oh, this is becomes plotted, so they only got it on the last turn. That's why it had trample. I never really read those. I mean, I read them, but then you just never see this card again, so you don't really need to remember. So it doesn't have trample on its own. They just need this wild, right? Okay. They used the plot. The plot armor. I think we block like that. You know what? We actually see the full hand. So it's just 12 damage. But I think it's honestly just better to lose the Channeler and get the counters on the bat. Because then we lifelink more. And that's a kill in air. Because we have 5, 8, 9 damage. Yep. Man, even on the draw, but you can see how hard it was suddenly. Wait, what? This is a different deck, Sloth. Yep. This is how I hit Mythic, and I wanted to share this with you guys since a lot of days, but I just didn't have occasion. So here we go. This is the final game that I hit Mythic with, and you can see also the deck. This is the deck that I showcased you with Jeskai Control. So this is exactly I think the same deck. I think the only thing I changed is this Splatter Whale thing for 5 mana, but I said in the outro that it should be switched. I think we play one more Consult the Starters. That's the only difference, and our opponent is with Momo on the play, and I'm just sitting here enjoying my 1 tapped land against potentially 3 mana play. So I knew that, you know, this might be rough, and I really wanted to win this. Like, I really wanted this to be the final game. So when I saw this opening, I was like, no, man, not like this. Then you go into those Diamond 1 ticks. Then you start falling off, every game unwinnable. And then after 2 hours, you finally get back to this promo game. You know, I wanted to avoid it. So our opponent going Ankh on empty board. By the way, they play Ankh before I play second land. That's kind of insane. So here we need to make some big decisions, and I'm already preparing for some upkeep stopping. I want basically I want to kill one of the creatures with Erode, but that of course gives them the land, so you want to kill it during their turn so it doesn't untap. So yeah, this turn we know that we are going for Erode, we don't have other plays, and we cannot go double Erode because we don't have double white mana. So I just played the Shockland as tap, we went for Momo to disable the discount, and also Ankh is legendary, so I knew this deck plays 4, this is one of their main cards. So I knew that they probably potentially might have a second in the hand. Momo is also legendary, but it's way more threatening, and it just speeds them so hard that, you know, if they have good hand, it might be very, you know, scary. So right now our opponent has only a 2-3 in the board, so this is what I'm kinda hoping for, to slow the game. 2 damage per turn, not enough to win. They need to add to this. And now I'm counting the mana, because they have, yeah, also with this, they have 7 different mana sources. They can waterbend, so normally you need a creature to tap for drums, but for waterbending it just can tap as an artifact, and also a creature. And I was like, why would you not attack here? And there was only one answer, because they needed the 8th mana, and 8th mana is Ankh himself, I believe, because it can tap itself, and I'm reading waterbending, your creatures and artifacts, yep, that makes sense. So they have 5 lands, 2 artifacts and Ankh, which means 8 mana, and they want to transform. So we are going for Erode on the end step. Our mana is super tight, and I'm considering dropping the loot. And this, the second sight of Ankh would actually kill us very quickly. Like, this creature is pretty powerful finisher. So now we can get to the good stuff. This is very tempting for me to play the loot. And yep, our opponent can probably play another one of those Ankhs. But I think that even if they airbend, I mean, then we can play it later for 2 mana. So it's kinda expected. And you can see that I'm finessing this game as hard as I can, basically trying to predict every play they have based on how they play. They can of course, you know, flip Ankh, but then we have Day of Judgment. They decided to swing for 2 damage. This alone doesn't do enough. And now we have loot for only 2 mana, which really helps. If we can hit a land, that might give us 6. So they actually tapped out main phase. I just snatched this land, because that means we can go for Day of Judgment on loot, because, you know, tapping 2 mana less for loot is actually massive, because it saves you 4 mana from the land that do, you know, give twice the mana right now. So absolutely insanely cool play. And now I knew that now we are in driver's seat. We just chill as a classic control, waiting for those big spells, and revelation. I knew. Yeah, you can see I'm good game. Of course I didn't click it, but I knew this is already good game. And we even have, well, not really enough for No More Lies, because we cannot produce 2 different... Wait, we have 1 spare from the casting. So we actually can counter spell in 2 different ways, but we don't need to. And with this spell, I knew we are incredibly ahead. With Revelation, we have board, we have Lifegain, we even pay more, you know, life just to push the damage. And I didn't even care about this attack from Monks. We have full control, 4 different counter spells. Oh, and I couldn't be more happy, man. I was so happy that we actually got to Mythic with a control. The one that we showcased on the channel, and I told you that this control will get you to Mythic. And I mean, it did. I promised, I delivered, and I wanted to share this with you. So yeah, let's go to the outro. So guys, this one will be short, and we were requested to make deck with this monster, and yep, we delivered. And honestly, I didn't change too much, because this deck has been yoinked. It's pretty, you know, wouldn't say super meta, but pretty meta. It has like 500 games, so we kinda know what to expect. This deck goes around 52% win rate, so if you're on the play with good draw, you win. If you are on the draw with bad draw, you lose. So guys, here it is, and honestly this is pretty solid. Like, this is one of the good decks for the current standard, and I think it has tons of cool additions. Honestly, I never remember bats being so powerful, and with this guy, they definitely scale way better than before. Having Lifeing on this and this means that if you put counters on those guys, it's very hard to race you, especially if something is red and aggressive. So I really like them. I think they're cool additions. Zoraline a little bit slow, you know, for current standard. This is an old card, but it still gives you this extra punch. And whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. I mean, whenever you gain life, you put the counter. So the synergy for this is worth keeping it. I originally wanted to remove 1, but when I read the card, thought about it, yeah, it makes perfect sense. So, you know, no, we cut 1 Professor. I think 1 is good enough. It's hard to use the emblem very often and got to 4 mana without, you know, losing the whole board. So usually you just finish the game with those guys, and this is for the longer game. So yeah, Haliya is great, but it's hard to find slots, honestly. And Emissary was a nice surprise. This card is so good. Just like upgraded version of the white lifelinker that you usually have in this spot because of the death touch. That means it's always relevant, and it also protects you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting on Patreon. We have a lot of new, you know, Patreon supporters, so really thank you guys for this. I really do appreciate that you are enjoying the videos and you want to help making them. You are absolute heroes for that, so thank you from the bottom of my dark Dimir heart. And yeah, that's kind of everything I have for you today. Thank you for watching until then, and see you guys in the next one.